Things muted. Alrighty, folks. So welcome to not quite a session, but kind of a session of our Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. And joined by all of our wonderful players today. If you guys want to say hello, now is your first opportunity.
Hello.
Such a weak hello. Thank you, Isabel. Or Megan.
Yeah.
But so things are a little different today. After the death of a couple of player characters last week, and with the impending rules change with the 2024 rules, or whatever you want to call them, 5.5, Advanced 5th Edition, 6th Edition, we thought it was a good opportunity to go ahead and switch over. And now us being 7th level, this is a little bit of a transition, and also at the same time making 2 fresh 7th level characters. So we're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough, also dealing with the Roll20 character sheet and the character maker and all of that. So there's going to be several walkthroughs and talking about each character's the composition and really everything party wise and that kind of stuff. So that is what we're doing tonight. But first thing is I'm just gonna show off the character maker. Now each of our players do have separate character sheets next to their own. And so you guys will see them as either your character's name with an asterisk or your name, and that's your new character sheet, and it has a little like ghost figure on it. But don't play with those yet. We're gonna get to those later. And obviously, if you guys have any questions during this process, just let me know, and we'll stop and slow things down because we're all learning it. I've had the opportunity to, having used these character sheets in depth for the last couple of weeks, am pretty used to it, so I can easily help navigate, or if there is a bug, know workarounds for it. And Roll20 is working diligently, and they've honestly worked out a lot of things that I didn't think that they were going to so soon. But let's look at a character sheet. So when you guys do open a sheet, it'll look like this. And you're more than welcome to edit sheet directly. I would highly recommend none of you guys do. But if you do, it goes to a blank character sheet, which is kind of hard to drag and drop new stuff from. But, so you're going to go to build a new character, and it'll show up an array of some not even D&D classes, because I have the compendium open. But you'll note that the new ones are marked 2024. See there, that little 2024. The 2024 classes are vastly improved over the 2014 classes. Like, there's some tweaks to them. Some minor nerfs, but buffs in other ways. So whenever you do get to your character, you'll go to the 2024 one. I'm just going to click on Bard to get us through this, and you'll see this little, like, down here, this yellow alert, like, you haven't finished this, because you got to go over here, and I'm going to choose Bard. And when you hit choose Bard, it'll ask you what level, and you just click up however many levels you want. If you're rolling hit points, there's a way to do that, and you can just roll each individual one, maybe take the average for the others. I rolled horrible. And then you just add it together. And it already does it. But hit points aside, you can always take the average. And granted, there's no stats allocated to this, so those are just the raw dice numbers there. And for subclasses, I would highly recommend the 2024 subclasses just because they play better with the 2024 classes. And you'll see a whole list show up of non-2024, but the ones that are 2024 are marked as such. So when you click that, you might see occasional options on here. Like if I were to, I think if I were to go to the College of Swords, or no, now it's the College of, not Swords, Valor from the Player's Handbook 2024. No, they don't get that. I was just thinking, like, because if you have a weapon expertise or weapon masteries, what they're called, that will show up here in a little like drop down menu, and it kind of goes into detail of what you get for this level of each level up. Like level 1 you get this, level 6, what did I get at level 6? Got a subclass feature which doesn't tell you what it is. Actually it does, extra attack. And that you can look through all this, or you can just go to the next if you don't have anything to assign there. Now when you go to next, it goes to your species or race or heritage, whatever you want to call it. It's what you are. They are also marked 2024, the ones that are 2024. You do not have to do a 2024 race. I highly recommend it because they are more updated, and for the most part, honestly, give a little bit more extras. Like the 2024 Tiefling, way better than the 2014 Tiefling. I bet by the end of the session, I'll actually start saying the 2024 Player's Handbook, just because the number of times I'm saying it. But some of them do have options. Like, let's say, I'm going to click on things that none of you guys are, because we're going to go through that in depth. Let's say you want an elf. You can see there's an elf here, but there's also the 2024 elf. Going on the 2024 elf, it'll tell you all the things you kind of get from the 2024 elf. But then we're going to choose elf. And it's one of the specials where once you click choose, there are some choices, like your elven lineage. And it'll say, actually, specifically, when you scroll down these things, it'll say choice. So elven lineage choice. You can choose drow, high elf, or wood elf. And that will determine something else in the high elf, or in the elf. And then you scroll down, you get spells from it, essentially. You can choose whatever. So just double check and make sure there's nothing that says choice. If it does, look through it. And you'll see here Keen Sensive's proficiency choice. It tells you this is made on the skills screen, which is one of the last screens. So going through that, then you get to choose your background. Your background details a little bit more than it used to. It details your stats, and it details your first level feat. So these, I am just sticking to the 2024. So aside from subclasses and races or species from other books, everything else moving forward needs to be the 2024 rules, just to ease of use, essentially, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all do different things. Hard to tell sometimes what they do. If you click on it, does it tell you what it gives you? It'll show you their abilities once you get, but you have to choose. Let's go criminal. Why not? An elven bard criminal. It tells you what proficiencies you get, because you also get some proficiencies You just don't get that feature that the old backgrounds gave. Well, once you choose it, it'll tell you all these things, and you're just like, yeah, okay, cool. Then you just go to next. So then you can see that criminal gets you the alert feat. You're like, what does the alert feat do? Kind of just hit it, and it'll show you. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't like the alert feat. I'm going to go back to my background. Let's remove that criminal. Criminal is one of 2 that gets the alert feat. Instead, let's go artisan. Let's choose the artisan. What does that get? It gets the crafter feat. It's one of the worst feats. I'm not going to lie. But it does give you more tool proficiencies. It gives you the crafter feat, which is the worst feat for first level. But it does give you multiple things, and it also... actually, it gives you a 20% discount on buying non-magical items. So, like, it's good for beginner stuff. But then for your feats, again, I want to stick with the 2024 stuff. Because we got level 6 here. So we're going to hit a 2024 one. These boons are for level 19 characters only. Don't hit those. Because they are ridiculous. They're epic boons, essentially. But he's a crafter. Let's just go with chef. Why not? Because chef is it's a 4th level feat or 1st level feat, and it will say as such. And some of them have prerequisites. But let's go with chef just for funsies. Just putting it in there, because almost all feats aside from 1st level feats will give you a bonus. So it'll say ASI on wisdom. You gotta scroll down. I'm gonna go ahead and select Constitution, and you can see it already bumped my Constitution up 1. And the odd thing about this, though, is it still shows my feats as undone. I couldn't tell you why. I'm not gonna lie about that. That is a recent bug that happened. It's like, oh, you're not done with your feats. We're done. Then you're gonna go to your ability scores, which I do have marked here with your stats. You're gonna go to the manual and just place them in however you want. But that being said, we took crafter, so that gives certain abilities. And so how the ability increase works, you can give one stat a +2 and another stat a +1, or you can give all 3 of the stats designated to your background +1. And so that'll automatically, will it? It did. Automatically input there. So we're just gonna put these stats anywhere because I don't care about them. This is a fake character. I'm just putting them in order. And for those of you watching, their stats they're working with are 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. Pretty much they made their own array at the start of the campaign. Then you just go to next whenever you're happy with where you allocated those and where these are. And you might need to go back and be like, oh, you know what? I'm a bard. This thing didn't give charisma. I want to up my charisma. Well, go pick something else that gives you charisma. And then you're at skills. It's all, you know, it tells you what skills you get from your class. Bards get a huge array of skills. Elf gets keen senses in one thing. Bards get expertise. They also get tools of all these different instruments. Get a synthesizer, why not? And then because crafter, you get all of these different crafting stuff. So this is where all of your proficiencies of tools and stuff. The only thing it doesn't have for proficiencies is languages. And that's most of the character. And then what you're going to go to is spells, for those of us that have spells, which is most of you guys. And they finally fixed this to where it's like, this is what you get. And they did a really good job of fixing it. So good job, them. And so what this does, when it says select a spell, you get 2 spells. You're going to want to only hit the 2024 spells. Pretend the other spells don't exist. You just hit the little plus button when they're there. But you can also drag and drop them later. Ideally, do them through this process. But that's essentially... And then also, you Bard automatically gets some spells from their thing, or from... Some of them are from the elf. And we can go to review and be like, oh, you didn't finish your Bard spells. Oh, you didn't finish your feats. The feats are finished. That's a lie. But pretend that I did finish the spells. And then you go to save and exit. And this is what your finished character sheet will look like. There are 2 things you can do with it. If you go up to Manage Sheet, there's 2 different layouts. There's Standard and Compact. Standard has everything stretched out like this. I don't prefer it, but it's there. It's essentially the same thing, just more stretched out. Your stats go over to the right, while your hit points are down here. And if you go to the Compact, they kind of flip-flop, where your stats are up here, and your stats are down here, while your hit points and stuff are up here. Armor class is over here now, your initiative and inspiration. And all of your attacks will be here. I'll talk about ways to go more in-depth with that. But as a bard, you have bardic inspiration. So if you take off one of these, it takes it off of all of them. These can all also be found in your features and traits. Like the old sheet had it just on that bottom right side, and it got really long. But over here, this is everything that you've gotten from being an elf, or from being a bard, you name it. And then you have your own inventory tab, which you can just drag and drop things over. Any immediate questions about the character sheet or the character maker at this point?
Not so far, no.
I do on the stats.
Yeah, what's up?
It looked like when I look back at the old stats we created, there was a 17.
Because you made something a 17 from leveling up, probably.
No, I look at the actual, went back to the chat log, to the first entry where we all rolled. And the numbers I came up with was 17, 12, 17, 11, 12, 14, and 13.
That doesn't make sense.
I know.
I don't think anyone started with a 17.
Okay. It was just when I looked at the backup.
Yeah,
Way
yeah. It must have been like...
So I don't know the provenance of what was going on at that time. It's just
Yeah.
what's listed.
Well, we're gonna stick with this 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, because that is what I think everyone's current character is made with.
Okay.
And just the bonuses there within of whatever you guys chose at the time. But any questions about the sheet or the character making process? Now's your time.
So, just to clarify, we're going to just be using that 12, 13, whatever, like that list of numbers?
Yes.
Because I know with like Isabel, I like pumped up my strength.
Yes.
Pumped up, yeah. So
I was already just looking at that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty bumped up, and I
Correct.
kind of don't want to lose that. I know you can
You
put it
won't.
in manually.
You won't.
You won't.
You
Okay.
won't. It's going to be the same. Actually, Isabel, because you're a variant human, you're going to get an extra stat. Because variant human just got like +1 to 2 abilities. Now it doesn't rely on your race, it relies on your background. So, however, if you were to take criminal, you probably won't get bonus to strength, which is your
Okay.
current background. But
Yeah.
you could take guard or something that does give strength and makes sense.
Okay.
And we'll go through each character individually and just kind of look at the old sheet and try and make it work into the new sheet. And
Oh,
then
cool. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And
All right.
then we'll also kind of go through the new guys. So, and I'm sorry you weren't there for it, Isabel, to help
Yeah.
save
Like,
them.
I know. I just had to get married or something.
You
It was
just had to
kind of.
get married.
I just had to go and get married. I
Also,
actually.
congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. I did watch the video when I told you I would, and
Mm-hmm.
we had it going through the speakers of our car, and we were like driving, doing and picking up stuff, and I was like audibly gasping, and
Yeah.
my husband was like, he's like, you just have to tell me what's going on, and then I was trying to explain to him, and then I did you wouldn't understand. He did understand,
Nobody
but
understands.
I was feeling very emotional when I saw what was happening.
It was a doozy, but
It definitely was.
and it'll be probably just as, if not more, emotional when we get back to it. Because when we left it, Alva was still possessed.
I know. I've been like thinking about it. I've been
So,
trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I know
yeah.
Mel is there too, so oh
And so what we left was Mel was running away. So essentially, well, you guys will see how we'll segue into that scenario. But you guys want to talk about old characters, or do you want to talk about the new characters first?
Either one, I don't mind personally.
Will someone
The
choose?
past is dead.
All right.
oh how
So,
embarrassing.
The king is dead. Long live the king. So I guess the future.
Yes.
with that in mind, then, Dan and Eric, formerly Zad and White Claw, what are you two thinking about?
I'm gonna go caster one way or another. I'm looking at wizard, the new abjurer specifically most closely right now.
Okay.
But I've also had a lot of fun playing sorcerers and warlocks, so there's also that option available to me. Even cleric, if Mel wants to move over from cleric. I like playing spellcasters. I like playing support too. I like making those like cool decisions that totally turn the tide of battle without doing damage.
Yeah.
So somewhere around there.
That's
Yeah.
Wizard's bread and butter right there.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
like a lot of the higher level spells, they get more
Yeah.
weird.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
For me, I was mostly thinking of going martial, so paladin, barbarian, maybe fighter too, or ranger, also melee ranger.
Okay. You have any preference on leaning one way or the other?
The top two would probably be melee ranger or paladin for me.
Okay. Are you thinking multi-class or
No,
single?
no. Single class.
All right. Yeah, because they're both half casters, so that can kind of get awkward when you combine.
Yeah.
You lose levels and stuff to get levels in another thing, so your max spell level would only be like 2 or 1, but you would have like 3rd level spells. It would be weird. What about species and or races? I know Eric was You already got art for it. White
Yeah, species
dragonborn.
was definitely Dragonborn.
So us being where we are, we're foreseeably near. Well, we already encountered Drow. I was thinking about being a male Drow.
Okay, so what would your connection be to the group? I would say the easiest connection would be being.
Not being a Loth Drow, but the other one, the one that's like more like.
I hate Baldur's Gate for doing that. That's not a thing. That
That's
is
not a thing.
all drow are just drow. Like it's not like there's like, oh, we're good drow. Oh, we're bad drow. No, they're all drow. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But and that's not your fault. That's Larian's fault for being like, no, we're and they're not to say that there aren't drow that worship the Seldarine and there's drow that worship Loth. Most
Yeah.
worship Loth, but there's also other drow deities. Like
I also
there's
thought about being a dark gnome, like a deep gnome. I mean,
Yeah.
a deep gnome.
uh
Kind of.
there you are close to the Underdark.
Yeah.
But I will say like the easiest connection to join the group would be from being sent from Phandelver or somehow on a quest for revenge or knowledge or if you have a good tie-in, I'm all for it. But we're not going to get too deep into backstory stuff at this stage in this campaign.
Gotcha.
Like, it could have been hired by the town master, could have been hired by or a friend of the Gwyn Orsong, the dwarven historian.
Very true.
Or you could be from the Underdark, like maybe. But what would what's the drive? What's the goal?
Well, I figure if I'm like a deep gnome that they had been encountering this, menacing crystal-headed goblins for a while now, probably more before anyone else.
Well, they're more of a local problem.
They're more of a local problem.
That was
Okay.
the Zorzilla's Rest areas where where the green goblins came from.
Okay. See, now now I gotta think more.
But it could also be something like I don't know. If anyone else has ideas, I'm all for it. But if you wanted to be from the Underdark, maybe. I mean, this is it's a sacred place for dwarves, specifically those who worship Demothoin. But the place where you're at now, but it also needs to be a lead to continue traveling with the troop.
Yeah, I'm not against being a dwarf either. I mean, I will literally play any race whatsoever. I think by at this point I'm not. Really
Oh yeah.
picky.
No, I'm trying to think of leads to do I mean, if you wanted to be a drow, you could have been part of that drow troop that you guys encountered and just like followed back. Like, yeah, this guy's fucked up our place. Let's I'll help you guys out, kind of thing. But scratch your back if you scratch mine.
Yeah.
Got a bone to pick. And that could totally work.
Yeah.
Drow are very well, especially if you are from the Underdark, the males of the society are more arcane attuned than the women. They're also usually more martial attuned. The women are usually the clergy, the houses of Loth, the matrons, if you will, and political. So even if you were a worshiper of Loth, like those drow that you guys encountered, they absolutely worship Loth, but they were strictly on a save dad kind of business. It should have been save mom with the writing of it, but they were strictly on a go save dad. I'm gonna bring some of my house with me, and you guys did help them out by saving him. So Be like, yeah, here's one of our house wizards to help you out if you want to be a drow. You gotta do an Australian accent though.
Good day, mate.
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't have to.
So bad at accents.
Yeah.
Ashley makes fun of me because I put no effort into accents whatsoever, and I'll mix like a ton together, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's Irish," and she's like, "No, that's not. It's not even an accent." Like, "Oh yes, it is, my pretty." Like I make up the most ridiculous accent.
I mean, that sounded Irish to me. There's no harm in trying, because it's just it kind of helps flavor the character, but there's by no means have to do an accent. All of my drow have Australian accent because they're from down under.
Ah, now I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I even give deep gnomes Australian accents too.
You do.
Yes.
I remember there was a deep gnome in one of our lost campaigns that
Mhm.
had a very thick
There's-
Australian accent.
Yeah, there's a deep gnome in our Thursday game. He's got a
Yep.
little bit of an Australian accent.
It's not good, but it's there.
Yeah.
So I'm all ears for ideas. Like, are you stuck on the Abjurer wizard?
I'm not stuck on the Abjure Wizard, but I kind of like a lot of what it's got going on right now. I like the tankiness of it. It's not really tankiness, but if I wanted to take one of those cool new conjuration spells, like with where you actually have to hit with like a weapon,
They're dope.
yeah, super dope.
They're not necessarily weapons. So if you look at what is it, the Conjure
It's not a
Minor?
melee strength.
Let's look up the new Conjure Minor elementals. It's a beast. It is a beast of a spell. At 4th level, any attack you make, any attack that includes spell attacks. It's nuts. Deals an extra 2d8 damage.
Right.
If you upcast it, the damage increases by 2d8. So it can
2d8.
It can be nuts, but it is only on yourself. So it's a buff. It'd be really good for like a it's also a druid spell. It'd be really good for oh man.
I'm also not stuck on wizard.
I just thought about the druid spell. Having a moon druid, Alva, cast Conjure Minor Elementals and then turn into something super tanky and just run in there.
Oh yeah.
Each of your attacks deals extra damage. But that's we'll get to Alva here in a little bit. But yeah, the new conjure spells are all different. Essentially, all of them make these emanations, and they do different things. Most of them mess with your attacks, or heal, or
they're basically all different kinds of spirit guardians, like different.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Spirit guardians is like the celestial version of it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be opposed to being a spore druid. That has always stood out as a cool class to me.
We already have a druid though.
Yeah,
the spore druid does get more melee focused.
Yeah, I'm just tossing ideas out here.
I gotcha.
I mean, I've always enjoyed playing any type of Sorelock. I think one of the most fun characters I ever had is when I can't even remember his name. Pippin. Was it Pippin?
The halfling.
Yeah, the halfling, where like I could throw out Hunger's Hadar and whatever the spell was, and I was blasting from across the room. That was fun. I mean, I can literally adapt to whatever. I've been playing this game long enough that I have enough.
Well, the rules are changing, so keep that in mind. So there will be some very different things.
I know the Sorelock is not going to be the same. A lot of things are not going to be the same.
It still kind of works, but straight sorcerer is better, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right now I'm at wizard. Maybe pure Sorelock. Maybe pure sorcerer as well.
And the sorcerer could be interesting because go with the Aberrant Sorcerer, which is what Mel has a couple of levels in. But that would give you an easy tie to things happening.
Like Aberrant Mind is
Mhm.
my type of sorcerer, so.
And it's like, yeah, the Far Realm's fucking with shit. I can sense
Well,
it. There's a disturbance in the fucking space everywhere.
the schmiangles are no longer schmiangles, and the pairs are no longer squares.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly.
You don't have to play it that crazy, but you know,
Yeah.
we want you to be helpful. We want also, you know, bear in mind walking up on some strangers, you're like, oh, there's stuff happening here. Don't want to show out the crazy too much at first.
I got you. She was warning me because the crazies come up pretty early in some of my characters.
The crazies are already embedded into the story, I promise. You guys are already partway there.
Yeah, I was about to say I think we've been there a little bit, or we've seen crazy.
It just gets it's a rabbit hole that you keep going down.
Yeah, what was it like lettuce or something, or avocado? Something with Pippin. He was obsessed with some type.
He was
of
an onion farmer.
Onion farmer. That's
yeah.
It.
Also, what do you guys think about either of those choices from the already established characters? Any preference leaning one way or the other to help sway the decisions of these two?
Not
you, the other people.
Oh, okay. I just gotta make sure you're not talking about.
Yes, Jan.
But yeah, do you guys have any thoughts about sorcerer, wizard, paladin, ranger, those kind of things? What would you like to see joining the troop?
I know at one point with Cal, I was like using some of my actions. Like I know, yeah, you and I were talking about using some of my actions so I could really work well with someone that was ranged.
Oh, it was with the rogue thing.
Yeah.
What is that called? Because they can make their reaction to
Commander strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like as much as I was super excited about that, there never was really any opportunities for like it to happen. But like, I don't know, something that complements obviously the characters that are, I hate to say it, still alive.
Well, what do you think complements you? What do you think complements Alva, Mel, and Isabel? And on that note, actually, I know with Mel we've talked about the possibility of either of going straight cleric. How are you feeling about that?
I was thinking of keeping the straight cleric role and focusing on the trickster side.
Okay.
That keeps the stuff with Mel's character.
The new trickster domain is much better.
If Mel had perished, I'd probably go somewhere melee range. I would love to do an archer or warrior, but that's a possibility for future things.
I feel like, and it might just be me, but like,
Sorry.
I feel like we have like, I think we're missing a ranged sort of attack. It's the only thing because I know that, well, with my character, Isabel, the only thing, Isabel has no spells. She has nothing.
Right.
All she could do is run and scream with her sword and run in. And I have the opportunity to change that now, but I kind of like having to use.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to be a little tricky to like, I have no spells. Oh, okay, now we got to cast light on her sword. Oh, now there's light on her sword and enemies can see us. So I kind of like that aspect of like, you know, having to use what I have.
Absolutely. I know
it just makes
I
it
know
more
what you mean.
challenging. Yeah, it makes it super challenging. So, but yeah, not telling. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Mel would lose her dark vision in the current possible configuration.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh.
Unless, let's look at Changeling.
Mhm.
They might get dark vision. I don't remember. No. Yeah, so you would lose dark vision. There is a spell.
Mhm.
Dark vision. It does last 8 hours and it gives you 90-foot dark vision. And it's not concentration. But it does take up a level 2 spell slot. But honestly, and I'm gonna say this for everyone's benefit, anyone who's watching, just because you have dark vision does not mean that you can see perfectly in the dark. Things can hide easier from you in the dark. You won't see things as well in the dark. You will, in fact, every perception check is technically at disadvantage. So what I do, if you guys are looking around in the dark for something, I raise the DC by 5. So even if you have dark vision, having a torch, casting light, those things are great. They're a great, great tool. It's for anyone watching at home, too. Probably more so.
Remember that, kids.
Remember, torches are useful. Use them.
Yes.
Having
But
light,
only play with fire with your parents' supervision.
that's that as well.
I try.
But I do know what you mean. So Mel is less of a melee character. She's more of a, she can get in there. She has defenses, but she's more of a healer and throwing spells from afar.
Mm-hmm. She just happens to be wearing good armor
Yeah.
while she does it. And if she ends up in that fight, I always feel like she's going to miss
Right.
or just barely
It usually happens, yeah. With your axe. And Alva, while she is a shape changer that can change into these big beasts and stay in that form, she does have potent ranged and mid-range and close-up spells. Druids are probably one of the most varied, intriguing casters to me, but she is also primarily melee. While Zadkiel was also very melee. So essentially, if you lose Zadkiel and you're losing White Claw, gaining a caster and a paladin or ranger in place is essentially adding similar-ish roles to the group. Ranger would be able to, well, range more, if necessary, depending on what subclass. Do you know what subclass you're thinking, White Claw?
Probably Hunter. It was Hunter or Beastmaster. It was really between those two. It would depend. Probably more Hunter though.
Hunter's a good standard. It can be good in melee and in ranged. And even if you specialize in melee, you're still good at ranged combat.
Yeah, and that being said, like, if I just like to see, like, I just like to be wow.
Uh-huh.
If you don't feel like you have to like pick a new character, I guess that's gonna like really help us with this journey. Sometimes like the challenge is cool too, right? Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
the
Yeah.
the character class themselves, as long as it's not
Yeah.
contradictory to what you guys are doing, the goal has not changed. Like at the moment, you
Yeah.
guys are after these fragments of
Mhm.
stone and kind of get an inkling as to what it has to deal with. So it's still, the end goal needs to be
Oh,
like
for sure.
whatever it is, like be it a monk or a rogue or a bard or a warlock or a sorcerer or another fighter or a ranger, as long as the goal is the same, to help the group figure out this problem and continue on with the group.
For sure.
They
Yeah.
need to be people that want to be up here. And
Yes.
also, I don't want anyone to step on toes either. So that is also why I was asking, like, how you guys would feel about that.
Yeah, you articulated a lot better there. Thank you.
Anybody gonna be mad if I play a Purple Dragon Knight?
Well,
You know
it's
what? You
not a
do
thing.
you. Honestly,
It's not a
Dan,
thing
just
anymore.
go ahead. Just yeah,
Although,
sure.
in probably about a year, they'll remake it with the new Forgotten Realms Player's
That
Handbook.
was, that's such a bad character.
Oh,
I love
It
purple.
is-
I love the idea of Purple Dragon Knights.
The idea, but the execution it's just not much there.
Patch. I will say the one downside with Gith is their rules don't update with everyone else. So I would strongly recommend for species to go with one of the newer species. Just because they're better in every way. But Dan, Eric, what do you guys think? You had to make a decision right now because you do.
Abjuration Wizard, Drow, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, if I had to choose right now, probably Out of Vengeance Paladin.
Oath of Vengeance.
oh,
What is the vengeance about?
To
They're not usually good guys.
it's probably to vengeance for okay, but to avenge those that have suffered injustice, probably.
What injustice?
Any injustice that he sees, just to avenge them, whoever like to punish the they basically would just I'd imagine him, he just wants to punish those that commit crimes and everything.
And
sorry. It kind of sounds like it's somebody that like, or sorry, it kind of seems like somebody that's like they see the laws very black and white. Like it's if it's goes creeps over a little bit, it's just like,
I'm
oh
Batman.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's
That's
never
what,
like
that's what
a
Patch said
degrees
too.
of bad. Yeah, it's just like it's like bad is bad and good is good.
No, it wouldn't be that far, but
Okay, okay.
it wouldn't be that far. But like injustice, like if he sees if he's you're in a dungeon, he sees you stealing something, he's not gonna charge at you. But like murder and all that kind of stuff, and will probably be something that murder of the innocent, probably something that he wouldn't be okay with.
What would his tie-in be?
Like I think, well, probably like I told you, the that he would have worked with Gwyn and with my guess, or be by Townmaster.
Okay. So, maybe hearing vengeance might work better with the town master, because there's people missing. Like there's people have been kidnapped by these goblins, or they've just gone missing, plain and simple. And maybe just sent by him, and also getting information from Gwyn, so you'd have a connection to both either way. I'd say that the town master sent you to help out, find out what injustices have been done.
The group.
Yeah.
Eh.
Now here's the thing. Alva killed 2 innocent people. I mean, I know it wasn't Alva, but like, would he be able to look past that?
If they can, I would say probably that if they could convince him that she was in control of her action, maybe. But they would have to prove it.
Okay. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I'm down to have somebody that's like super vengeful and always like it's almost like a rash kind of like, or very harsh like do-gooder. Like that's kind of cool. Like wanting to be, but with Alba, with killing 2 people, how will this person come across it?
Yeah.
And what will it take to convince this person? Or will he always be like, you've done wrong. I'm gonna find the opportunity to like set the law straight, right? Like maybe like
Or not even necessarily the law, but
or
you know,
you know
His own morals.
yeah.
yeah.
What do you have a deity in mind? Because most deities aren't necessarily about vengeance unless they're not very good. Except for, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a deity, because as long as you feel like paladins just get their power. Yes, they get them from deities, but deities can also lend their power to these ideals.
Ideals. That's what I
yeah.
see it as. They get their power from ideals rather than straight up deities.
But it can be through
I mean,
deities, like Helm is a
wait.
big one.
With justice, if I go with the justice,
Like Helm. You want to go that
Helm
route?
or I forgot the name. I think Bahamut is also be one that Elmer Bahamut was probably one of the 2.
Bahamut
That
is the platinum
he's
dragon. Is not overly worshipped, mostly by dragons in the Forgotten Realms. He's not even really known that much. But I would say he's more about being the shield as opposed to the hammer. His ideals.
yeah, makes sense.
But Helm is about watching, and once someone slips up, you're done. They don't usually actively seek out wrongdoing, but if they see it, they keep a watchful eye, essentially. So you could be part of, like, if you did go the Helm route, you could be part of the Order of the Gauntlet, which Darren Edermath, the Orchard Keeper, is a part of. So you would know him. So he might have been the one to tell you, like, yeah, there's these group of people, they went to go find these, I don't know, something about the kidnappings and the goblins, and probably send you over to the town master. So your tie-in would be Darren Edermath, if you wanted to go that
Yeah.
route.
No, I think that could be a good thing. Yeah.
You down with OGG? Yeah, you know me.
Like yes. I think it made sense because he'd be
And Darren
a
Edermath
lawful neutral.
is a half-draw.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if he was a half-draw in this game or not, but yeah. That's an easy tie-in.
There you go.
I think I'm right with that.
And would Isabel and Alva, would you guys want to change anything about your character?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty content staying where I'm at.
All right.
Obviously, I'm gonna have a big journey after this, kind of emotionally moving through what just happened.
Sure.
But I think at our core, Alva's gonna be the same.
I'm getting my echo on you. But how about Isabel? Would Isabel want to change anything? Or would you want to change anything about Isabel, rather?
And this might be weird, but I feel like I kind of want to make her a bit more dumb.
Well, that's impossible. She has to have at least an 11 intelligence.
Damn it. Okay. But like, oh, but then that's kind of getting too into barbarian. Now that I'm thinking about it, like,
Not necessarily.
I think.
I mean, you already play her kind of dumb, but she knows about like tactics at least. So that's the smart. She's not book smart. She's more like
Yeah.
observational smart, but maybe
Like-
not.
Yeah,
maybe not.
so-
Maybe not social cues.
She's like
yeah,
Mike
exactly.
Mike Tyson can't navigate the world as it is, but he can fight.
Yeah, that honestly, that's kind of like a pretty good explanation. I'm pretty happy with her. I like the challenges of having no magic
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love having the health that I do, and then somehow I'm at 2 HP, and I've got to figure my shit out. I don't know. I like that
Second wind.
So
You'll get to use second wind a lot more now.
I know I saw that the second wind isn't a what is it? That I could use it whenever, and I was really happy about that, which I think is why I'm more content.
And
Just
it's
kind of like leaving as is.
And both second wind, you get 1 second wind back on a short rest, and your action surge back on a short rest as well.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is.
Thank you.
It is. It buffs all around, except for Alva's health during Wild Shape, but Wild Shape got changed, so that will be something we'll talk about.
Would Tyr or Alm be better?
I'll put my projection bubble on, and it'll be just like nothing I've never changed.
Yeah, there you go. Tyr would kind of work. Tyr's more. I think they're both. I think they're both lawful good, maybe.
Tyr is lawful good, what I can see, and Elm was
Helm's
lawful neutral. I think lawful neutral probably would be better.
But Tyr is the god of justice, but I would say less about vengeance for Tyr. Helm would be more about, seeking out these wrongdoers and making sure they pay.
Yeah, I think Elm probably would be more in line with what I was thinking.
All right, well, how about this? Before we do our deep dive into character sheets, why don't we take our little 5-10 minute break early and pick up in a few minutes to do an in-depth dive into recreating and creating all of the characters and everything.
Sounds good.
Sound like a plan?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
All right, so we'll take 5, and I'll see you guys in a minute. So we'll be back here in a few minutes, folks. All right, guys. We are back with it, talking character shenanigans halfway through our campaign. And we're gonna go through the character creation / recreation into the new Roll20 character sheets and the new rules, and do really in-depth deep dive into all of it, try and answer any questions. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Keeping it. First up will be Dan.
Yeah.
Formerly known as Zadkiel. At the moment using his Big John avatar. But are you guys all watching the stream?
Yep.
Yes, I am.
All right. So for Dan,
Yes.
did you say you're watching?
I'm popping on right now. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at this sometimes.
You're good. I can always stream it through Discord if necessary. But unless
Yeah.
you're using your phone, then you won't be able to see it very well at all.
I am using my phone. That's my because otherwise it bogs down my.
I gotcha.
Just give me 1 second. Be there in a second. There's like all these people I follow, and I have no idea how I started following them. Who's the only person I ever.
Hey,
actually follow.
Twitch was real big back in the day.
Oh, sorry, that's.
You're good. Just make sure you mute the stream.
Yeah, we're getting it.
The ad.
Yep.
Yeah.
That ASMR Twitch ad experience.
Mm-hmm.
Teacup, new series coming soon, only on Peacock.
Hey, is Peacock paying for a brand deal right now? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
You never know. Sometimes you toss it out there and you get a check in the mail. That's at least what I heard.
You watching yet, Dan?
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right. So, gonna do a side by side. You have your own sheet down here in your characters. I am not gonna mess with yours. That is up to you to do.
Okay.
Unless you really want me to do yours. I don't want to though. But you're gonna you're gonna open it up, go to the build a new character. And you're
Steven, you have enough to do.
You're gonna scroll down all the way to Wizard. Make sure you hit the one that says 2024. Because it's better.
Because it's better.
And then you're just gonna come over here to the red. Choose Wizard.
Yes. We're getting there. I was at this point before and then backed up. And now it's being slow. So I apologize.
You're good. What point are you at right now?
Pulling up the character sheet.
Okay. The one that says Dan?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
There's some classes from like you'll see like Sentinel Specialist.
Yeah, that's why I went back. I was like, oh man, there's a whole lot of.
No, fuck those things. We're going. I hit the 2024. And then you'll just
2024, 2024 alone.
Yep. That is what we're living in. 2024.
Just being slow and stupid.
Maybe don't watch the stream then. Or minimize it or something.
I'll put the stream on data. Boom. There we go. Now we're loading up, right? Looks like it. There's an immediate difference. Maybe not. So embarrassing. Every time.
Counting on you.
Damn it. It like came up no problem today as soon as we started, and I was like, I'm gonna go back. Wait till we're closer. I've already seen all what you're showing. Okay. Oh, I'm in freaking stupid head. I opened Zadkiel.
Close him quick. Don't open Zadkiel. He's gone.
He's gone. He's dead. He painted the floors red.
Oh. In a good way.
Yeah. That's how I always wanted to go. Come on. Being ridiculous.
Or if you want, you can always watch the stream later, and we'll talk through the choices,
Yeah,
and you can make yours.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You're good.
Like this computer either
You're
works
good.
perfectly freaking fine or like a total asshole.
You're good.
Nowhere in between.
Well,
So
once you hit the wizard, you'll go over to the thing, and you'll go all the way up to level 7. And if you want to roll your hit points, or if you can take the average. That is up to you at the point. If you take average, you're gonna get 30 hit points. Plus your Constitution modifier, which it will add in later. And you'll hit the Abjurer Player's Handbook 2024. It is the first choice for Wizard. You always have to double check, see if you get any choices. Good news, Wizards don't get choices except for with their spells and skills and stuff. But that's later. Then we're going to go to next. Yes.
Question. Hit
Answer.
points.
Hit points.
Hit points.
Yours, you guys who have hit points, aside from Mel, because Mel is changing classes, Alva and Isabel's hit points will remain the same. Unless your Constitution modifier changes.
Okay, so because right now...
There's a chance you'll have more hit points.
Yeah, because right now, let's see, on the stream, I see 30, right?
Yes.
Isabel's, let's say that 30 was actually supposed to be, like, in-game. They were actually, like, 80 or something. 82 hit points or something.
We'll get to Isabel later. How about that?
Okay, yeah, I'll just sit and watch.
No, yeah.
I'll enjoy.
Well, because that will be definitely a specific thing we'll talk about.
Okay, cool.
Your guys' characters more specifically in depth. But once we're done with the class, and if you did want to roll, you would roll on that thing. Isabel and Alva's hit points won't change unless your Constitution changes, or if you get a feat that makes it change, and that will be discussed later. But for Dan's going to go all the way down here to Elf 2024. It's the green lady with red hair. And you're going to choose Elf.
Green lady with red hair.
And it says 2024 in the top right of the picture. And then you'll scroll down to Elven Lineage Choice. Choose an option. You're going to choose Drow, which is the first choice. Here's the cool thing. Your spellcasting ability or your Drow spells that you get. You're going to take Intelligence because you're a wizard. I'm choosing that for you. You got no choice there. But that is the only choice you have to hit on Elf is Elf Lineage Choice. After you scroll down this little base down here, hit Drow, and then spellcasting ability below that, Intelligence. Like, you're going to want to choose Intelligence. No question about that. And then what background, what is his upbringing, or what did this Drow do in society before he went out and about?
In Drow society,
was he a sage? Was he a scribe? Acolyte?
He was like a low caste acolyte.
So more along the religious aspect?
Yeah.
Of Loth?
But like,
because that would be
so like. Here's what I'm thinking. Like, he's Lothian, but like he doesn't quite.
Sure, I think most male Drow feel that way. They're forced into it.
Quite get it. Yeah, he doesn't quite get it, and like he's not afraid to appease to his base senses when he's not on the lookout of other Drow and such.
Okay.
Like that kind. He's not like, which would make him like a lower caste religious. Like, yeah.
Well, being a male, you're already lower caste.
Yeah, because right.
It's a matriarchal society through and through.
He's like a Dan Pasco Drow.
I mean, but he's level 7, so that's nothing to scoff at. Of this low house, I'll get you the house name when I remember it. So you'll hit on Acolyte, choose Acolyte, blah blah blah. You have no choices here. Go to Next, and then your first level feat. Here's an important one. This does have choices. Your spellcasting ability choice, your wizard, intelligence is going to be high, you're going to choose Magic Initiate Intelligence spellcasting. And your spell list choice, you actually don't have a choice because of Acolyte. You're going to know a Cleric spell and a couple of Cleric cantrips.
Ooh.
So you could even know Cure Wounds. You could know Healing Word. Entirely your call. We'll get to those later. You're also going to know 2 cantrips. And then you get a feat, a wizard feat. So do you want to improve an ability score? Downside with choosing your feat now is you don't know what your abilities are. Or do you want to be about Warcaster? With the
Yeah.
concentration of spells?
Yeah. Concentration. Yeah, spell concentration would be a thought.
Or there's Spell Sniper, if you want to snipe spells.
Man, I kind of see this guy kind of like running around the battlefield.
I mean, is Spell Sniper still have like the ignore cover and everything that it had?
Spell Sniper got even better because now you can cast those spells in melee.
Oh.
So it's essentially Crossbow Expert, and it gives you a +1 to Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. And you ignore cover that's not full cover. There's a few other things, like there's also telekinetic, telepathic.
I think it depends if you wanna go full range or still have.
Well, Warcaster helps you with not only. Here's the thing with Warcaster. We're going to talk about this feat for a moment. Yes, it lets you make here gives you an ability score increase to Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma, already better than the previous Warcaster. And then you have advantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration, same thing as before. And now it has reactive spell. So whenever a creature provokes an attack of an opportunity attack, leaving your reach, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature instead of making an attack. It used to be a cantrip with the touch. Now, the spell must have a casting time of 1 action and must only target that creature. Here's the thing about that. So that means you could cast reduce on someone that runs away from you. It also means, let's say Isabel runs forward, or Alva, or White Claw's new character runs past you. You can make an opportunity attack and cast haste on them. Or enlarge. Those kind of things. So it allows you to essentially gives you reaction spell casting to affect people. So it doesn't just have to be cantrips. But the big thing is still advantage on concentration checks.
Yeah, you just made what was good better.
Yeah.
I will say, if we do rule it that way, that means the enemies will also have a chance of having the opportunity attacks against ally thing can be. It's not as it was intended, but the big thing is that you can cast higher level spells, essentially, as long as you could cast polymorph as someone as they're trying to run away.
Right.
But there's other feats. There's also observant. Gives you intelligence or wisdom. And it gives you either proficiency or expertise in investigation, insight, or perception. It also allows you to take the search action as a bonus action. Essentially, you can look for hidden people as a bonus action with observant. There's a second one like that, which is Keen Mind. Similar thing, it gives you expertise or proficiency in the knowledge skills. But then you can take the study action as a bonus action. And what study does, it's a new action, essentially, lets you learn about defenses or check out vulnerabilities or resistances that creatures might have, lets you know about them. And you can do that as a bonus action if you have Keen Mind. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. Those are probably all the best. There's also Fade Touch and Shadow Touch, but I don't think Drow would have either of those.
Nah. Like, I have enough to think about anyway.
Or you can always increase your intelligence to a 20.
I might do that too. But I do like that whole
The Warcaster.
Yeah, the Warcaster.
You can make your choice when you get there. I'll just type in Warcaster for now. It's going to have an ASI, and I'm just going to hit Intelligence because that's probably where it's going to go. And then your stats, as an Acolyte, Acolytes get bonuses in either Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma.
Oh.
So you get to choose +2 to one, +1 to another with those. Where'd those stats go? With those stats there. And obviously you can assign them in any way you want. Where do you want your stats? You can choose where you want. But I'm just gonna just type in some things. You put your 15 intelligence, you'll have an 18. Downside is your Dex or Con will be a 13 probably. Where do you want your 14?
I guess my 14 will be Con.
All right. You want 11 strength or 11 charisma?
Let's do 11 charisma.
Means you'll have a 12 strength. And you can always increase your wisdom by 1 from the background. And if you put your 13 there, you'll have a 14 wisdom. And just keep in mind the yellow warning over feats remains. It's a bug that they recently introduced. When they fix one thing, you get another thing.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it right now. I was wondering whether.
Yep, that's how coding works.
Mm-hmm. But it's better than it was. And then your proficiencies. I'm assuming you're going to take like Arcana.
Yeah.
Etc. Etc. Wizards now get an expertise in something. So you can take expertise in, I don't know, Arcana or Investigation, History, Nature, Religion.
Ooh.
But then once you make all of these choices, you just go to the next. And now you get a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So the Acolyte will automatically take from the, like if you scroll down all the way to the spells, it will automatically show like your wizard spells first, and then if you scroll down, you can do Acolyte, like your elf spells. It already gives you Dancing Lights, Fairy Fire, and Darkness. Acolyte, you get 2 cantrips from
Cleric.
Yeah, from cleric. They're just strictly cleric spells, and you can choose whatever you want. I'm just throwing stuff on there, just so we get to a character sheet. I'm gonna throw Healing Word will be great for you to have, just because it's a bonus action.
Bonus action.
And that's good stuff.
That's
So yeah, I'm just throwing some cantrips on there. Obviously, take your time, look them over, see what you want to do with them. Entirely your call. Same thing with the spells. You get less spells actually now as a wizard, but you get more at the same time. Because at level 3, does it actually restrict them? It does not. When you get level 3, 2 of the spells will be strictly from abjuration. And when you get level 5, that extra, like how it has like an extra slot, like 2 select a spell and then 3 select it, and then a third select a spell, but it's separate. That third one should only be from the abjuration school. Just don't choose, has to stick to the 2024. So whatever it is, 2024 only. And this, well, I'm just throwing spells in there. The downside is they are all alphabetical, and there's no way to
sort them
yet.
this.
They're working on it. But so I'm just throwing some other different level spells on there, just so you have them, and we can talk about the character sheet itself. Let's get I don't know if I have a third level spell in there. Whatever. I'm not done with it. You're not done with it. That's fine. I would recommend doing this while you're in the character sheet and going over the spells. It will take some time. Not asking you to do all of it right now.
gotcha, dude.
Then you'll just save and exit once you're done. Check things out. It'll tell you like what you missed. Like, hey, I didn't do spells. Hey, I didn't do feats. You did feats. Don't worry. Then just save and exit. And then you'll have, with that Constitution, you'll have 44 hit points. Not bad. And then you'll have this whole list of stuff. Your Arcane Ward. But then when you go to spells, if you go to this Manage or next to the Manage button, go to the list view. It'll save you a lot of space. And it has all your cantrips in line, all of your spells, and like what level they are. As a wizard, it's not the most finesseful way or good way to actually have, but it does keep it from cluttering your sheet with spells you don't have prepared. You go to Manage, and this will be the same thing for Mel. You're going to want to hit Prepare Spell. Downside with this, you don't know how many spells you can prepare. But we'll cancel that and we go to our features and traits. It might actually say. It does not say. You got to go to actually your wizard. So if you go to the compendium, let's type in wizard. And look at the first thing that pops up. Wizard, Player's Handbook 2024. And I love the way the new layout of the compendium stuff works. Here's your stuff that you get at first level. And this is how all of them are. If you go to Wizard Features, let's scroll down to level 7. Level 8? Level 7. You'll have 11 prepared spells. And not including your cantrips. You can choose your cantrips the day of. So you can literally drag every spell you want over here. For cantrips. Your spells will not change, though. So if we go to our spells, we know we can prepare 11 spells, not including cantrips. So we'll go to Manage and hit the Prepare Spells. And then you'll see these little marks, toggles, next to all of these spells. And what you have toggled on will be the only things that appear in your sheet. Obviously, the drow spells stay no matter what. The acolyte spell also stays no matter what. So once you hit that, it like only the spells that you have prepared will show up on the spell page. And a lot of them do have correlations to the combat page. It's very similar to the spell page and the front page, the core of the old sheet. And green for healing. I'll need to adjust some things occasionally. You can see how it's like Dex 8 for all of these. That's easy to adjust. And I can do that for each of you. But I'll go ahead and show you right now. Let's look at this healing word. It should be 2d4 plus his intelligence modifier because it's intelligence cast. You click that little I button on the combat tab. Go to edit. 2d4, that's right. Ability, let's add intelligence, see if that actually does it. It did. Changed it to 2d4 plus 4. And then now it asks you what level you want to cast it at. You get one free cast of a first level spell of your first level healing word. Does it do it? Or you can cast it at second level. Healing word, all healing word and cure wounds spells for all of you. Essentially the healing is doubled for those spells, so they're great. In order to change the saving throw, you just go over it. Proficiency's automatic ability override. I don't know if that'll work. Let's find out if it does. It did not. So, we have to do some math here. Your proficiency bonus is 3. Your intelligence is 7, or plus 4, sorry. So your DC will be 15. 8 plus 3 plus 4. Always starts with 8, and then your proficiency bonus, and then your modifier. So your DC will be 15. So we'll go to edit. Down here to flat DC override, let's just type in 15. And save and close. And now you'll see Charm Person is DC 15. And it even has these little fancy ways of how the math works for things. Even if you want to do your unarmed strike, it shows you the math. You rolled a 5, plus 1, plus 3. That's that 4. It's one thing I love about this is it shows you the math a lot easier. And then you hit on damage just like you did before. And it might work. It might not. If it doesn't, you can roll from the sheet. And this is 2 plus 2 details. Strength and damage bonus. I don't know where the damage bonus came from. That's cool. It might have just done an automatic plus 1. But that is essentially most things. One cool thing about the sheet, and this is for everyone, you can go to conditions. Let's say you have invisible. It should automatically make stealth. No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
It didn't make it. And it doesn't make stealth. Doesn't make stealth advantage, but it does show you that you are invisible. Now, let's say you are prone. Let's see if that makes your unarmed strike at disadvantage. It does not. Okay, alright, so it doesn't do everything. But it does tell you here. That's interesting, but it should tell you, yeah, what each of these conditions do. So if you're curious and you're like, what does it mean that I'm stunned? Tells you right here. Stunned creature is incapacitated. We're going to have to look at incapacitated. And can't move. And can only speak falteringly. automatically fail strength dex saves. Attack rolls against them have advantage. Then we'll go to incapacitated. What does that do? Can't take actions or reactions. Same thing with like paralyzed. So it's all there. If you're poisoned, that one should do it. If I have it automatic, yes. See how these little tick marks came up? Everything is poisoned. So it'll automatically know that I'm doing it at disadvantage. That's this automatic advantage or query. I would leave it on automatic unless you know you're doing something else. But that is essentially the character sheet. Now, let's say, for purposes, you find a scroll or something, you want to add a new spell. Let's say we find a scroll of, I don't know, Detect Magic. Just type in Detect Magic, go to the 2024, bring it over there, and it'll tell you it's been successful. And so now it'll be in our managing section for Detect Magic. Now, Dan, you do have a lot of choices to make with your spells. I would highly recommend doing them in the character maker in one go. I also would recommend for each of you to not do things in bits in the character maker, because, you know, when you leave a program running inside of a web browser and close out of that instance, some funky things might happen. Any questions, Dan? I'm sure there are. You can also get rid of this if you don't want to take up the room for each of those. You don't need to know the bonuses at all times. And if you resize it, skills and tools becomes its own tab. I don't love, but it's okay. It also tells you your passives over here of some important skills. I'll throw in languages for each of you. But there is also a way to do that, but we'll talk about that. I'll talk about it individually with each of you. It also tells dark vision, it tells speed, tells the armor class. I'll make a little thing for mage armor to add it to your thing. It might do it, I don't know. Okay, let's find out. I want to find out if it will. Because that'll be a thing.
Yeah.
It does not. So to do that, here's the thing. We're gonna add an effect. I'm gonna call it Mage Armor. And this can go for so many things. What's it gonna apply to? This part doesn't matter, because it's not actually going to affect that. However, if you wanted to make a modifier for, like, let's say Hunter's Mark, you would do Hunter's Mark, do it for damage. The dice value is 1d6 for Hunter's Mark. And that's it. And then you would just go to save, and it would be there. But for this is Mage Armor. So we're going to go to Armor Class Modifier. Mage Armor increases it to 3. Make sure you hit Apply. And save. So now he's got this Mage Armor buff here. He just clicks it on when he's got it. And it makes his AC 14. Because Mage Armor is essentially, makes your AC a 13 plus your Dexterity. But that is Dan's character. And a little extra stuff about things. Any questions on that from anyone? While we're looking at a sheet.
No, it looks pretty much straightforward
All right.
so far.
It'll only get more complicated when we get into more complicated stuff. Who wants to go next?
I'll go, I guess.
All right. So, Eric, you're gonna go through your own thing that'll just say Eric.
Yeah.
Build new character.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah, I wish there was a different way to do it. And you would just go to Paladin. Because I'm having a hard time finding Paladin for some reason. It's gay. It's in the middle there. Then you just choose Paladin. And then are you taking average? Or are you rolling? Average is 46 hit points.
Yeah, I'm debating if I risk it or not.
And then you do go down here to Oath of Vengeance.
Oh, yeah, I've got a weapon mastery too.
Yeah, so that's what that yellow thing is. You'll scroll all the way down, weapon mastery choices. You can change these on long rests. So essentially you'll want to choose what weapons. I would recommend choosing some of the weapons that Zadkiel had in his pocket.
Yeah, I forgot what he.
He had a very nice war pick and a +1 longsword and a mace of killing undead.
So long sword and
But honestly, the war pick is the best just because it has daylight.
Warhammer.
It's a war pick.
War pick, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can always choose a ranged weapon. Not a bad idea. Javelins do stuff. Are you planning on like going sword and board?
I was probably maybe down the road we'll see, but I think I was probably looking more at having him use two hands.
Like a two-handed weapon or two-weapon fighting?
No, having using both hand on the same weapon.
Oh, okay. So you can't do that with a war pick, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would depend if he's got using the war pick or the longsword. This longsword, he would definitely use it two hand.
Gotcha. And then once you hit that, I'll just choose along with you. I'm gonna pick some dumb stuff just because I don't feel like looking for it.
2024.
Yeah, and then you hit Dragonborn 2024. Scroll on down. VR. You choose Dragonborn, but then you scroll down, you'll have... Where is it? Dragonborn, Draconic Ancestry choice. And this is where you have to choose what color of Dragonborn.
Dragon, okay. Oh, I see it right there. That was white.
Is that what you want to go with? The cold?
Yep. The cold.
Alright. And that's the only choice, I believe. You'll see it say choice.
Yeah, it's the only choice I can see.
Yeah. And then what's his background? Was he an acolyte too? Grew up in a church?
No, he didn't grow up with a church, I can tell you that much.
Is he a soldier? Or a guard?
Background.
Or is he a noble?
Let's see, guard. What?
You can always, I think... I don't know if this works. If you go to the compendium, type in guard.
Oh, you can just press read more and then open it up right away.
Where?
Out of the top, I gotta read more on the sheet. If you click on one of them. On any of those, if you just click before choosing it, read more.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It opens up right away.
See, I'm learning something new. And it gives you the art form. That's cool. I like that. So I'll tell you what feat you get and what ability scores you can improve. Absolutely. Love that.
Probably going soldier.
Soldier's pretty good. Does that give you the savage
Savage,
attacker?
Yeah, I think I can go soldier.
Yeah, soldier gets savage attacker, and I think guard gets alert. So always on the lookout. And new alert is great. I will say that. Just because it lets you switch initiative orders at the start of a turn. Be like, no, you go first. I'll go later. Or you can be like, let me go first.
All right, so
The choosing soldier.
fighting style. Yeah, choosing soldier. Fighting style. Let's see.
They're all great. Honestly, there's one player has been doing interception, and it's been going ridiculously good for him. But that's with the shield stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least protections with shield. Interception.
Yeah,
You just have to be holding a shield or a weapon.
Yeah. Protection, you need the shield.
Yeah. There's always dueling, but it's only one-handed weapons.
Yeah.
Defense is the classic all-round good.
Yeah.
You get +1 to armor. You're going to be wearing armor. There's blind fighting, which is pretty invaluable against invisible creatures. Seen it be used to great use in my Wednesday game.
Interception could be good.
Mm-hmm. And it gives you something else to do with your reaction.
I think interception is what I'm gonna go for this one. And the level of 4 feet.
You got a bunch of choices. You can always increase one of your stats, con or strength or charisma, by 2, or 2 other ones by 1. But the new feats, honestly, are more worth it, just because they're so good. So like they added the crusher, the piercer, and the slasher feats, which are specific to types of damage.
Sentinel would be a good one.
Sentinel is always great.
Or there's tough.
There is tough. That is a first level feat.
Origin feat.
That only farmers get, I believe, but you can always take it. It gives you +2 hit points for every level. Sentinel would increase your strength or your dex.
Savage Decker and there's 20s.
You already have Savage Attacker.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading what it says. Real quick.
Once per turn, you can choose to roll the damage dice twice and take the higher of the 2. So you have to. The downside is you have to do it before. Like, all right, I hit with this. I'm gonna Savage Attacker it and roll twice and use the better of the 2.
Let me double check the other one. Remove the background. Just double check the. Definitely not farmer. No, that's not worth much.
Yeah, I don't know what your. Hey,
No,
what did he do? You know, what did he do before he went adventuring? He could have been an artisan. He could have been a farmer. I don't care. He could have been a guide in the wilderness. You get more spells.
But
a noble. Noble, you get the skilled feat.
Yes.
Or he could have been a sailor. I mean, the coast is right there. Sailor gets the Tavern Brawler.
Yeah, and I feel like Tavern Brawler is not really going to be useful in our current settings.
It's good at low levels. It lets you punch things better. And it also lets you... It's great for monks. It's the best first level feat for monks. Does Farmer give strength? Yeah, strength or constitution and wisdom? I think Noble gives you charisma, strength, and intelligence. Charisma for the paladin buffs.
Yeah.
What does guard give?
Guard gives strength,
Strength,
intelligence, and wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom for like perception stuff. That makes sense. And sussing out, like insight. I could see guard for a helm worshipper.
Yeah, I think guard's probably from looking at it's better option than soldier. So let's go with that one. All right.
And alert, you're proficient in initiative essentially, and you can swap initiatives, which is it's a cool, nifty ability. Like, oh man, the initiative order is all messed up. Let me go last or something, you know, or first. And there's a lot of good feats in here. Mage Slayer is a great feat too. You don't like people casting spells around you. And it lets you once per short rest just straight up succeed on an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma save. And it lets you break concentration on casters when you hit them. And there's also Heavy Armor Master.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one right now.
Which lets you reduce incoming damage from non-magical attacks. So keep that in mind. But most things are going to be non-magical as if they're slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning. Lets you reduce the damage by 2. Equal to your proficiency bonus, so by 3. That's pretty good. It used to just be a flat 3, but now it can get higher. So when you get level 9, or whenever your next proficiency bonus is. And it lets you increase your strength or con. What are you thinking?
I don't know. There's so many choices.
There are.
I'm reading over some of them.
I mean, then there's Charger. You can, when you rush forward and hit someone, and push them back 10 feet.
Yeah.
Or do extra damage.
Charger. We could keep the ones that are interesting open, so it's easier to see them as I scroll up and down.
Yeah.
Grappler would look more for a barbarian.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It doesn't cost extra movement when you grapple people. Here's a sneak peek into the new Great Weapon Master for Isabel.
Huh.
So every heavy weapon attack that Isabel makes will be a great weapon attack, essentially, and always do an extra 3 damage, or your proficiency bonus of damage.
Oh, baby.
With no penalty. So there's no plus 10 to damage anymore, but there's also no minus 5 to hit. But it still has the thing, if you crit or you reduce a creature to 0, you can take that extra attack as a bonus action.
Cool. Always great to have more power.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the Hue ability. They didn't want to call it Cleave anymore.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was reading it, and it said Hue, and I was like, is that a typo? Or
Nope. They changed the names of some things. So like mobile, they changed to Speedy, I think,
Huh.
which is worst fucking name ever. Yeah, Speedy. In the playtest, they were calling it Speedster, which is also bad.
It's worse, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking, Eric?
I'm hesitating between Sentinel and Charger.
Sentinel's a stay and see kind of thing. Charger's a go get 'em kind of thing. What do you feel this character is going to be more like?
Oh,
Do you want to chase
imagining-
people, or do you want to keep them where you're at?
Yeah, no, I think he probably would want to. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go with Sentinel. Keep them close to him.
All right.
Sentinel.
And that gives you an ASI, either strength or dex.
It's so annoying that it's all in alphabetical order.
That it's what?
That's in alphabetical order. It's like weird. Why do you have alert? Oh, okay, never mind.
Because
not the same
guard
sign.
instead of soldier.
Yeah, but it's a different sign, so I was confused why it was not the same logo as the other ones. All right, next.
That's a good question. I don't know. And then you just go to your ability scores. You got the manual ability scores. You're probably going to increase your strength.
Yeah, I mean, strength's gonna go to 5.
Then you
to
got
15, that's for sure.
intelligence or wisdom. So Isabel won't be the only strong person in town.
No.
So 17 to that.
So it should be 18. So if you put the 15 in there, it'll automatically add the +1 from the from your background, or from the feet. And you add the 2 +1s over here on the left. And it'll be 18.
Yeah. Now it shows me 17.
Did you... Let's go back to the Sentinel. Did you go down here and do the strength thing?
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, if you open it up, it'll be like, oh, there's an option there.
Yeah,
It needs to have alerts there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming 14 con.
Yeah, con definitely at 14.
Or 14 charisma.
I was gonna.
Because paladin.
That's a hard one because I would imagine him to be super charismatic.
It's more of a sense of self-worth kind of thing, not necessarily how you talk to people, but how you can sway people.
Let's see.
Then everything else is essentially a 12.
Yeah, dexterity 12.
If you put your 11 in intelligence or wisdom, you can up that by 1.
Yeah, so yeah, everything's 12.
Easy breezy. And then you just
And
you get your skills.
let's see. Uh, Definitely insight,
Absolutely.
but medicine, persuasion.
All those work. You already have athletics and perception.
Yeah.
And any of those medicine, if you're out of spells or if you're out of lay on hands, keep people up.
Yeah, I think medicine is gonna go good.
Then you get a gaming set. Not a digital game device though. But that's simple skill choices for Paladin. And then for you, what I would recommend doing, and this is Paladin specific, I would recommend not selecting any spells right now. Because I'll show you what you're going to want to do. So I would recommend skipping this and just go to review because it already has your core spells.
Yeah,
And you just
I can see that.
save and exit. And so now what we're going to do, once we're done there, is go to spells. Put in
it was telling you 3 unfinished step. 2 unfinished step. It tells me 3.
What is yours that you unfinished?
And it tells me class. So what did I? Oh, it's
did you-
subclass.
That matters because then you wouldn't get your spells.
Out of vengeance. Player event. Okay.
So when you go to spells, does it have those there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Divine Smite, Bane, Hunter's Mark.
So then go to finish, and then when you get to your spells, and you'll have your sheet pretty much all done.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the manage.
Exit.
Yeah. And then scroll down to your spells, manage them, and go ahead and hit that prepare spells button. And just check off. Oh, you can't check off Divine Smite's too big. Let me see if I can change that real quick. Might be a way to change it. Oh, it's because it's got this long ass tag.
You managed just to like highlight it and drag it down and.
Okay. So you'll want to hit prepare on all of these.
Right.
And then save it. So it won't actually change what this looks like. And then for your spells, what you're going to want to do is go to the compendium. This will be a number to keep in mind if you hit on Paladin. And then go to Paladin class features. Level 7, you'll have 7 prepared spells. The number you'll need to remember eventually. None of these spells count against that. So whatever you want won't count against it. But when you go back to the regular compendium, delete your entry, whatever, scroll down to spells. And then with this little funnel thing at the top right next to Search Compendium, you'll want to look under Classes. That's the filter button. And then Paladin. And then you're going to want to go down here to Source. Scroll down to Player's Handbook 2024. And then you're going to want to go to Level, only 1 and 2. Have both those checked off. And go back up to Apply. You can drag, if you want, every single spell over to your sheet.
You said level 1 and 2.
Yep.
Apply. There's not a lot of them, so
There's
I
not a
can do
ton.
that, yeah.
You absolutely can. They won't appear here, but they will appear when you go to Manage and your prepared spells.
Let's do all of them.
We'll say that does take a little wear on the stuff. And for you, for your equipment, I'll throw some equipment in there. No, I try to throw proficiency in there. If you go to your inventory.
Find Seed, I already have it, so
Yes.
I don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need to drag. Like, there's Feinstein, Divine Smite, you already have. But make sure your masteries are toggled on. And now anytime you attack with a longsword, it'll be there. It should be there, as long as it's toggled on. I didn't have it toggled on. And it will tell you what mastery is. It has sap. And you can click on that to see what it actually does.
Oh, I've just noticed you can add you gotta scroll all the way down to see the sliding on the manage.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And so every time you hit your longsword, it will automatically show that you sap with it. Because that's the new mastery stuff, and then there's what sap does. Any question, lay on hands, you're going to use however many. It's got little plus and minuses for however many you're using. You can even go above the 35 for some reason. Your Divine Sense and your Vow of Enmity, which is your channel divinity, essentially. It also has all of your reactions that you can do, all of your actions in combat. I'll add Divine Smite. I'll probably take away the attack and add it as an effect. But play around with that. Pretty much want to always...
Up. Oh, never mind. Okay, I see. I can do.
What'd you mess up?
I added Detect Evil and Good twice.
Oh. That's
Same
easy to
thing
do.
with, yeah. Divine Smite 2 by.
But, any questions?
Nope. That's all good.
Mel, Isabel. Who wants to go next?
Yeah.
You guys will be a lot easier because it's
Yeah.
you already know your choices essentially.
I can go. Unless.
Go for it.
All right.
Okay.
So Isabel, when you go down here to your Isabel Flinthorn asterisk, open it up, go to build a new character. It's going to be, again, real easy. We know she's a fighter. So I'm going to scroll all the way past it and then go back up to that badass looking dwarf and hit choose fighter.
Oh, yeah.
And your hit points won't really matter. We'll adjust that as necessary unless... Dun dun dun. We'll make adjustments as necessary. And
Okay.
you'll choose your fighter subclass. Make sure you hit Battle Master Player's Handbook 2024.
Yep. I got it.
And you'll see all of these little yellow exclamation marks pop up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to open up those little tabs and then scroll down. You have mastery choices with weapons. You have more than anyone, and you will get more. So choose 3 of your weapons. Obviously, you're going to want to choose your great sword because that's your main squeeze. Other than that, we can open up the old Isabel. Let's see what weapons. She's got a great axe and a hand axe. That narrows it down a lot. So we can just hit great axe and hand axe mastery. Those are your 3 weapon masteries. Easy breezy.
So wait, great axe, great hand axe. I didn't find great sword.
Great sword is right next to great axe.
Oh, I can't read.
Or it's below great club actually.
Amazing. All right,
Yeah.
I've got those all input now.
And then you scroll down.
Yeah, then I scroll down.
Level 3, you'll see a little thing. This is where you get to choose your maneuvers. And we can
You know what's interesting?
What's interesting?
Thank goodness you're telling me the levels, because not all of them, like level 3 and out, doesn't have an exclamation mark. It just says green, good to go.
Did you choose Battlemaster Player's Handbook 2024?
Yes. Yes, I did. Funny how the world works.
Does it show those options at least?
It does.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. Yeah, if somebody, yeah. Maneuvers.
And you want your maneuver saving throw to be your strength, meaning your maneuvers will always use your strength. For it's good because you're strong girl.
Strong.
And
biceps.
Literally, we can just look at old Isabel. Old girl.
Look at old Isabel?
Yeah, you can look at old Isabel and see what maneuvers she has. They're all essentially the same.
Yeah.
And you can even have it dragged up. She's got riposte, menacing attack, precision attack. So Larry, we can just go to make sure you hit the 2024 options.
Yes.
For my mastery name, it both says property sap, and they're both like longsword / warpick. Is that a?
Because they're the same ability, or same. They both have the sap ability.
Okay.
And I think the other one was precision attack. Okay. Amazing. They're all input.
And then we're going to scroll down, make sure there's no more. Spoiler alert, there's something you get at level 7.
Yes, I was just going to say,
You get another maneuver.
Oh, baby.
So you should have trip, pushing, precision, menacing, and riposte.
I think I had trip. That I did.
Yeah, I'm looking at your old ones. You have trip and push.
I have trip and push.
You have trip, push, menacing, riposte, and precision.
Oh yeah, I have pushing attack.
Yeah. So those should be all covered here. Or no, you actually lose one.
That's what I was gonna say. I lose one, so it's either trip or push.
It's up to you. Which one do you think you'll use more?
I feel like pushing attack, especially if I'm all close and surrounded.
Push pushes them 15 feet, but they have to be large or smaller. Trip also has to be large or smaller.
Yeah, I'll choose push. I feel like pushing some people around, and then I can replace a maneuver. Oh.
But you already have them, so you already chose the 4.
Yeah. So replace maneuver. Do I?
You don't put anything there. Yeah.
Even though it has the exclamation mark.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. I'll go to next.
And then you go to next. And scroll all the way down to human.
Yep, that's me.
With the 2024. This person's smiling.
Yep, that's me.
With their
really
hands
happy.
up. Yep. And you just hit choose human. There's no choices to make. They get made on the feat screen and skill screen. So you just go to next. And then your background is criminal.
Yeah. Because I like to loot dead things.
Well, because you were in the sewers for a while.
That's true. But I also like to loot dead things. Which anyway.
Here's the thing about criminal. You won't get a bonus to strength. So your strength will be a 16 instead of an 18.
Oh.
I know. Devastating.
It is devastating.
It is. I didn't mean that sarcastically when I said. I know it sounded sarcastic.
No, I knew what you're saying. I took it as, oh my gosh.
There's also Wayfarer, which is similar, kind of like growing up on the streets kind of thing. Also doesn't get strength. It gets lucky instead.
See, Wayfarer makes more sense. Because criminal, because I remember doing this with you, and then I was like, she's not really like a criminal. But
Yeah.
like, this is the closest thing. So like, okay.
And you get the
I like the
lucky
idea.
feat for criminal.
I kind of like the Wayfarer. It just makes more sense.
Absolutely.
Just from even what
Or
you
yeah,
said.
Wayfarer, I mean, gets the lucky feat.
Yeah.
So
how do I change the, like, how do I change to not be a criminal?
Did you already click choose criminal?
Did I already? Like the sheet that you're seeing right now, or like the UI that you're seeing on the screen right now, I do not see that. So I'm gonna press next through species. Now I'm in criminal. How would I remove? Can I remove it? Oh,
well, if you have a remove,
Yes.
if once you click choose, it'll look like this, and you'll at the top it'll see remove.
Yes.
So then you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, hit Wayfarer, hit choose Wayfarer.
Oh my gosh, why is there no search bar?
And then go to next. You get so many feats.
Oh my goodness.
Here's where Isabel can get an 18 strength.
Yes.
So, start off with the first level, the human versatile choice. Look at the 2024 versions. Things like tough, great. You just get an extra 2 hit points.
Ooh.
Let's look at the previous Isabel to make sure. Let's see what she's got. So that would have the opportunity to increase your hit points by a lot. By 14, actually.
Me like that.
So tough works. Savage attacker. Once per turn, you can attack savagely and roll your damage twice for an attack and choose the higher roll.
Oh man.
This includes your maneuver damage.
Oh, buddy.
So it depends on if you want to deal more damage or if you want to be able to take more hits.
Oh, deal more damage easily.
All right.
What
So,
an easy answer.
and then you just
Okay, so
hit select feat.
All right.
And then now you have your fighting style choice. We already know what Isabel's doing. Great weapon fighting.
Yep.
Yep, she's got the big beefy weapon. And
My
anytime
dragon
you roll a 1 or a 2, you count it as a 3.
Oh.
Yeah. So your minimum damage with your Dragon Slayer will be 6 as opposed to 2. Or actually it'll be 7 as opposed to 3.
Oh.
Okay, so they change it from re-rolling it to just counting as a string. As a 3.
Mm-hmm. And then you stack that with Savage Attacker. It kind of makes it to where you're guaranteed you're gonna roll better than.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your minimum damage with your Great Weapons Sword is 7. Plus your strength, whatever that'll be, 18.
Yep.
Minimum damage is going to be 11. Your maximum damage will not increase. Well, add Great Weapon Master, your minimum damage is 14.
Yeah.
That's nuts. So then you have feats.
Yep.
You're going to scroll down on one of those feats and go to Great Weapon Master, the 2024 version. Very important.
Yes.
And hit plus. The other one, if you want to have that 18 strength again, you're going to want to do the ability score improvement.
Yes.
And with Great Weapon Master, it automatically bumps your strength up by 1. If you go over to it, you'll see that. Then you scroll down to ability score improvement.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
You'll want to hit strength on both of those. Now here's another downside. Your constitution won't be a 16.
Oh, no.
I don't think there's a way for your constitution to be a 16 and your strength an 18. So Isabel will lose hit points.
I know, but if I can hit real good, I think that's what she'd care about.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to go to the next and to the ability score thing. What did I not choose? Oh, it's the class thing that you were doing. So back to the ability scores. Where'd they go? You have an 11. Let's go. You know you're going to put that 15 in strength, so you can have an 18. And if you put that... That's where criminal's better. I think criminal can get con. But you can have a better dexterity, which will increase your AC. And either wisdom or charisma. Which you can decide that later, but you know you're going to put the second highest in con, probably.
Yeah.
14 as opposed to 16. So Isabel will lose 7 hit points from her current total.
Oh.
So she'll have 75 as opposed to 82. Oh,
I think
no.
I'll take the risk.
Yeah. And then your 11's going to intelligence because that's the low stat. And then you've got 2 12s. Easy. Wisdom and charisma. And then put that 13 in dex.
Wait, was Dex 11 or 12?
Your dex was
My Dex
13. So if you put that 13 in your dex, you can get it to a 15. And then you can either increase your wisdom or charisma to a 13 as well.
I think I'm gonna up my charisma.
All right. And that gives you something to do things with. You're gonna get a feat next level too.
Okay.
Because 8th level. Then you go to skills. And literally we can do 1 for 1. Let's pull up Isabel. She's got athletics, deception, intimidation, stealth, and survival. You have insight and stealth, so something's going to change from criminal to what she is now.
Yeah.
But, no, we're doing athletics. Yes.
Yes.
You don't get deception anymore. But you can do intimidation or survival.
Survival makes... Okay, if I'm thinking what survival is, I think survival might make more sense just because, like, I don't know. I'm trying to have this other thing that she likes to cook. That's how she's kind of like shows that she
Gotcha.
cares.
So
So,
actually,
like-
you can still do all of the same skills. I lied. Because you take athletics and survival for fighter. Battle master, you can take intimidation.
Mhm.
And then the human resourceful skill, you can take that deception.
Go.
And you get a tool proficiency, which will be your cook's utensils.
Oh, right now it says the thieves.
Well, if you scroll down past that, your battle master student of war tool proficiency choice.
Oh, right. Okay. Cooking.
Is
Cooking
that popping up for
utensils.
you?
It is now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So cooking utensil.
Cook's utensils.
Cook's utensils.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
And then you go to review and save and exit.
Oh, it says 2 unfinished steps. But okay, no.
Yeah, because one was it wanted you to try to change. So yeah, now you've got your character sheet here. Always keep your weapons, your greatsword, great axe, and hand axe weapon masteries checked off.
Yeah.
Wonder if I can. It's not an actual weapon. Is it? I wonder if it'll let me drag it over from here. Oh, cool, it did. It didn't like it, but it did it. Oh, I see. And same thing with whenever you're attacking with your greatsword or great axe. Just have that heavy weapon mastery on there.
Yeah.
And now you should be able to roll your... Well, you won't be able to. But I'll drag it over onto your sheet and I'll get your equipment on there.
Okay.
If you want, you can drag over like your mundane items. Like if you look at Isabella's sheet.
Yeah.
And look up the hand axe for item. Make sure you get the 2024 version. Drag it over.
Yeah.
Look up your parry up of health. There won't be a 2024 version. Just drag it over.
Okay.
Drag over a great axe. Just make sure you get the 2024 version of all of those items.
And I'm doing that with this new page. I'm doing that under inventory.
Under inventory. Yeah, you'll
And
see it like
there's,
this.
the
And if you
circle.
if you want to mess with money, you have to hit this little double arrow.
Okay, interesting.
And so it kind of locks it in so you don't accidentally change it. And everything will drag over. You'll get a little confirmation. Hey, it's been successfully dropped.
Cool.
And
then I'm trying to think if I have any other questions. It is saying I'm a criminal and a wayfarer at the top.
It's because you went back and forth. That's fine.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll look it over and make sure it's all good before next Friday too.
Cool.
But take a look over the sheet and see if there's anything.
Okay.
While we get to Mel.
Thank you.
Octavia.
Hello.
Last but certainly not least. Well, not last because then we still have to do Alva. But unless Ashley is you go to build new character, go down to the cleric 2024. You don't have to go very far. A lot of blue energy around. And this is up to you. So you can either roll for these hit points, go to level 7. Totally your call if you want to roll. Or you can take the average. Which will probably still be more.
It's about, if I take the average, it's close to what she has now.
Well, it's not adding her
whatever comes out of
her constitution modifier, yeah.
And the subclass.
And if you're going with the new trickery, it's down low. Make sure you hit the 2024.
Yep.
And then you do have a choice at first level. If you see that little thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Divine.
thumb.
So if you take Thaumaturge, you won't have that heavy
Mhm.
armor.
I know.
That mithril. Actually, you might have it's medium. You might still have the medium armor.
Yeah.
You just yeah. So you won't be able to use the axe that you have, but you can use the Lightbringer that Zadkiel had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you take Thaumaturge, it will ask you that later. So you'll get those later, the cantrips. And then at level 7, you have a choice of Blessed Strikes. Do you want your cantrips to do more damage, or do you want your weapon attacks to do more damage?
And for this, yeah, definitely the spells. So potent spell casting.
So hit potent spell casting,
Uh-huh.
and then go to next. And then we're gonna find Changeling, which is actually early on. Choose Changeling. And you don't have any choices here. I don't think.
No, I don't think I do.
Nope.
Ability score choice, no?
Hmm?
No, it'll be like, oh, it's done on the ability score page.
Oh, okay.
And then for background for Mel, what are you thinking? There's a lot of choices here. That the haunted one is gone. The closest thing would probably be Wayfarer, which is the new urchin essentially. Or you could do Hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Hermit makes you. I mean, again, you can like click on the read more. Thanks Eric for pointing that out. As it's loading forever.
Yeah, I know it takes forever to load. It was lagging for me too.
Mine was going pretty quick earlier. Probably 'cause I have a bunch of character sheets up.
Could I use Acolyte?
Absolutely. Acolyte would give you a free cast of a first level spell from the cleric list. So you already have cleric list, but you'll have more. And even more cantrips from the cleric list. So you can, absolutely. And you just hit Acolyte, choose it, go to next. And first take care of this magic initiate on the right. You're going to want to use your wisdom, because cleric. Your wisdom's going to be your high stat. And then your list is also going to be cleric. Easy breezy.
Wisdom.
And
my magic initiate spell list, I can choose any?
No, it has to be cleric from Acolyte.
Oh, okay. I thought it was any.
No, the... Go back to background. The Acolyte, if you read more, that's what I was loading. It gets magic initiate cleric. But then there's... if you want druid spells, it would be the guide. Guide gets magic initiate druid. And then not scribe, but the other one. Sage gets magic initiate wizard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sage then.
Okay.
I like how they came together when I was playing around with it.
I got you. It gets you that firebolt. So then you go back to the feat page after you go back, get rid of Acolyte, choose Sage, Magic Initiate, still choose Wisdom because that's the casting, that the ability that you're using, and then hit Magic Initiate Wizard, and that stuff will come up later. But then we're gonna select a feat
for 4.
For 4th level. Mel. And previously you had the Fey touched feat, which is still there. And it allows you to increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1. So do you want to stick with it?
I shall. Just also keeps everything current and
Yeah,
focused.
yeah.
At least it keeps Fey touch.
It makes the choices easy. Oh yeah, go back
So
to
when I
feats
choose, oh yeah, it's
and under Fey
wisdom.
touched, make to
Wisdom.
choose wisdom spellcasting. The one downside with the Fey touched, it looks like it won't increase one of your stats. We can do that manually afterwards.
Is that a bug?
It is a bug, and
Okay.
I will be reporting it after this.
Okay.
Same thing with the exclamation mark where the feats are, even though it's done. So because you chose Changeling, here's the kind of wonky part. It lets you choose any ability score, although if we go to the Sage, as it loads, you have to choose in Constitution, Intelligence, or Wisdom for those three. So obviously your best choice is Wisdom for two of them. And either Intelligence or Con. Probably Con, right?
Yep.
Or it's up to you. I guess it really depends on your other stats. As that stat page keeps disappearing from me. Yeah, it's right there. So with your stats, I mean, you can literally just take Mel as an example, but probably drop that charisma down because it's not going to be as necessary anymore.
Yep.
And you just put that 15 in wisdom. It will be a 17, but we'll go ahead and +1 it from the... So actually what we can do now is put in a 16 there because the Fey touch didn't add in.
Okay.
And then everything else is...
So right now with 2, that puts me at 14, and I have another ability to score. Cool.
Say what?
With 2 into wisdom, with that 1 increase, I get up to 18. I submitted 2 at the select, and then I have 1 extra selectability increased by 1.
Oh yeah, so
Was
it should
that
be Constitution or Intelligence. Those are your 2 choices.
Yeah, it's pretty much gives everything.
It does. It does because of the old. That's because you chose Changeling, and out of that book it was like, yeah, choose whatever you want, and so that overrides the new backgrounds for this choice. At least in the character sheet. I'm using. You have to use the new backgrounds. The new supersedes the old. But like you could put your 13 in Con, and then it's automatically a 14, and then you still have a 14 to put in wherever else you want.
Yeah, put it within dexterity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, this is just I'm just walking through this. This isn't. It doesn't like it when I mess with other people's character sheets. This is just the walkthrough of it. About like, you want to keep her charisma high still? Like at 12?
It's at 12, yeah. I put strength down to 11. That's where I put the 11.
Gotcha.
Because that's kind of how she's working it.
And then your skills, you just go over here to skills. And we can go back to look at Mel's skills. And we should be able to do most of them. Get Arcana and History from Sage. So those are 2 skills that she didn't have previously.
No. Yep. Arcana, History, Deception.
And Deception.
And Intimidation.
Deception you can get from your Changeling, and Intimidation from Changeling.
And Persuasion and Insight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easy breezy. And you got no other proficiencies to add because Sage automatically does the calligrapher supplies. And so for here, what I want you to do is go to Sage. Like, ignore the all thing up top here. Just go over to Sage and select a cantrip. Again, choose from the 2024 books. Obviously, you're going to...
So you're doing spells?
Yes. Yeah, over to spells. But only doing the Sage spells. And I'll show why here in a second. It's because of the prepared stuff. So,
Okay, so down there. Got it.
yeah, so you're going to choose your Firebolt and the Mind Sliver?
Mm-hmm.
Probably,
Yeah, I
right?
figured the Mind Sliver
And then a
with
first
all
level.
of the trickery will go well together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my sliver was really good when I was using it on a
And then you get a free
Trying.
first level wizard spell. You got that magic missile. You do still have the wand of magic missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a spell that can use your cleric spells, but you always have one free cast per day of first level. But you can always like use a fourth level slot to cast it as well.
Mm-hmm. And if I use it, it's gone for the day unless I use a spell slot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Witch Bolt got a huge increase.
Which one?
Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt?
Witch Bolt.
Oh.
Now does 2d12 lightning damage at first level, and it increases. But here's the thing, even if you miss with it, you automatically can still keep trying to do lightning damage as a bonus action. Even if it's in total cover, it just needs to stay within 60 feet of you. So you can Witch Bolt it, even if that Witch Bolt doesn't hit. The lightning is still charged around the creature, and you can just run away. I was just throwing this out there for also for Dan, because it's a great first level spell now. Chromatic Orb changed. Also a great spell. It can now bounce around. It can bounce between targets, and the higher level you cast, the more it can bounce.
Cool.
Sleep got better. Sleep, it now no longer relies on hit dice. It's a smaller area, so there's less of a chance of putting yourself to sleep. And it's just a saving throw from them. So sleep is a pretty good spell now, and we've seen her use it before. That would make sense.
Yeah, but it backfired on her.
But now it will no longer backfire.
I was also thinking Find Familiar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to deal with the familiar?
Why? Why do you say deal with the familiar?
Because it's gonna die.
But then I cast it.
But what?
Would I just cast it back?
Yeah, the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, familiars are good for... It's a good thing to deliver spells with. It's also a good thing to scout with. It's entirely your call. It does require resources to summon back.
What's the resource to call back?
10 gold worth of incense.
Ooh. That can get expensive.
It definitely can.
Yep.
Especially if you're nowhere near a town. It's entirely your call. Color sprays similar to sleep now. Like if you're going with that trickery angle, it's a saving throw and it blinds them for a turn. Enough to get out. Like, hey, you're blind, I'm running away now. Or, hey, he's blind, stab him. I'm trying to think of spells that aren't cleric spells too.
I'm gonna keep sleep. Just because it's such a tradition for Mel.
Yeah. And honestly, you'll probably get more use out of it now.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. So, not choosing any of your cleric spells.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and hit review. And you're going to see 2 unfinished steps. One is spell and one should be feats. And then you just go to save and exit.
Okay.
And we're gonna move over to the spell sheet real quick.
Okay.
I would recommend hitting this list view. Just it makes it so much easier to look at. And we're gonna go to manage. And just like we did with the paladin over there, gonna go ahead and hit this prepare spell button. And just go ahead and hit prepare on all of these. You will always have these prepared. Every single one. They do not count against your spells. And save it. And then just like that paladin, we're going to go to the compendium. We're going to go over here to spells and hit that funnel button. We're going to go to classes, cleric. We're going to go to level. I would recommend looking at these level by level, because 4 levels of spells is a long list, especially for cleric. So you'll just go to level, let's say, look at level 1 spells, and source. That's the important thing, is source, Player's Handbook 2024, the one in parentheses, and just hit apply. And whatever spells you want in there, you can absolutely drag every single one. It will slow up your character loading, but just start dragging the spells that you want. And I think 11 spells in addition to these is what you can have prepared. And what I'll do is I'll label all of these as, I'll put like a little AP by them, meaning that they're always prepared, and that way you won't accidentally undo them.
Yeah, that'd be useful for on my end too.
Yeah, I'll do that too. And actually, I can show you a way to do that. So
what did you search within the compendium to get that list? Sorry.
You're good. Let's go back. Scroll down to the spells over here. And then once you get there, you're going to go to this little funnel at the top right next to where it says Search Compendium. And you're going to go Classes, Cleric, level, whatever level you want. We'll do level 1. And big thing here is the source near the bottom. Scroll all the way down to Player's Handbook, parentheses, 2024. And then scroll back up and hit apply.
Okay.
And you'll see, and you can literally just drag them over, unless you're using a pop-out. If you're using a pop-out window, it won't work great. It won't work at all, actually.
I've been trying to get it to work. It's like
it won't, because the pop-out.
It won't.
It's a
Yeah.
different window. It needs to drag within the same window. Like, let's say you want to take Healing Word. You just drag it over. Takes a second, and it'll say spells Healing Word has been successfully dropped. Little green message. And so now whenever you go to manage, you'll have Healing Word there. And there it is. So for that, if you wanted to arrange to where you have it, you can mark a spell to where you always know you have it always prepared. You go to that little eye next to it, and you just hit edit. We're going to change the name of it and just type AP and save it. And so you could also do it in the beginning, so it stands out more in your up to you. But whenever you go to manage, actually, I would highly recommend doing it in the beginning because it will always show up first. If you put that parentheses there, because it does it in alphabetical. Oh, you can go over here to your spell slot. No. And yeah, that way it'll always show up first. And if you guys do have time, go ahead and go to the compendium, look at your old sheet, try and drag and drop any equipment that you have previously over. I will try and do all of the magical items myself before next Friday. That's weird. It rolls an attack. There's some weird things about it. That's so weird. Easier just to do that. Yeah, that makes sense. Any questions?
I don't think so. I just really want to get my stuff in my bag, in my inventory.
And so a way, I'll show you real quick. Let's go to, I'm just going to open up the sample sheet. It's not your actual sheet. If you go to your inventory, there is this little red plus button.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
For your TMJ mouth guard.
Yes! Canon, it's true!
And you just add it, and it's there.
Okay, cool. Alright. Well, that's the way I'll do it then, because I did one that way, and I was like, there's gotta be an easier way.
There's not for things that aren't in the compendium. But like if you wanted to put it, type in a backpack, you can do that. And make sure you grab the 2024 version. It adds it. But if it's not like if you're looking for the gems that you have, or like if you want cook's utensils, make sure you put that apostrophe in there. Maybe. Yeah. Go to the 2024.
I understand what's going on. There we go.
And drag and drop. And there it is. It's 8 pounds of cook's utensils.
Don't judge me.
8 pounds, okay.
It's like iron pans and shit, man. And I will adjust Isabel's hit points, so don't mess with that. I'll adjust that as necessary. Well, I mean, you can adjust it if you want. Her max hit points is going to be 75 instead of 82.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if I could have went much higher if I went for rolling.
If you roll for it, that's how you get it.
I have bad luck, so I didn't really want to try it.
There you go. I did it. I think. Yeah, I did it.
I don't know. I'm not going to look at your guys' sheets right now because anytime I've opened up character sheets that have been already people are messing with, it'll make it to where neither of us can work on it. So that's why I made these samples instead that I've been playing with. Because that's another bug, or at least it was a bug. I don't know if it still is. I reported it, and they said, we'll look into it. And I said, okay. But Dan, any chance that Ashley wants to hop on and do Alva? If you're still there, Dan? It's a disadvantage of going first. You had time to go pass out.
Oh,
Mhm.
no.
Well, I'm gonna take that as not right now. Yeah, unless you're trying to talk to us, Dan, you are muted very heavily.
Like the most I've ever heard you muted, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
He probably did pass out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, that was like hour and a half ago that we finished up. That we're
Yeah.
doing his character walkthrough. But yeah, any questions about the sheets, guys? Before while you have me at your disposal.
Not for me. I just would love to see their QA notes on the sheet, like quality assurance with the app. I don't know. I'm always curious.
If you go, they do have the just Google search Roll20 changelog.
Oh, right, okay.
I think I might have posted that in our Discord.
Oh yeah, I
What
see
I'd
the
be
change.
what I'd be curious to see is their bug database.
Well,
Yeah.
ask them.
Oh, they won't let me access their bug database.
Send it in
Get a
all
job with
caps.
them.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, hey, I really want to help you guys out. Give me your entire access to your entire system.
Give me all the passwords. Give me the master key.
Password is swordfish, obviously.
Yeah. Or it's no password is password.
No, it's swordfish from the movie.
It's guessed.
Password it's 69.
My buddy's password was cheeseburger, but then he would change the number beside it. It's like cheeseburger 1, cheeseburger 2.
I mean, look, at work I use one password and I just change letters and
Yep,
numbers.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Or what's
because they ask
capitalized. Yeah.
Yeah, because they ask me to change it like every 3 months. So
Yep.
like, yeah, I'm running out of ideas.
Well, I'm excited for this. I do hate that 2 long-lived characters have died, but
It happens.
it does happen, especially when you're in a dungeon and one of your best friends gets possessed by a ghost and turns into a bear that shoots lightning. That's
I don't know how I'm gonna encounter that.
Well, here's the thing. You guys will have to deal with Alva first. And in her ghost possessed state. So
Oh,
think on that. I would, if you guys were 2 levels higher, Mel would have access to a spell called Dispel Good and Evil, which essentially can exorcise possessions.
If
Yeah.
only I was level 9.
If only you were level 9. But
I think, I don't know who has the book with the code to get in. That was kind of, I had it and then somebody else had it and used it.
The
I thought
book
about
was
I think you
that, I
Mel
think.
would
it was
want to
yeah,
get
I think
book.
Zad used it to look at the when you guys were opening. He could have easily handed it back.
Yeah, I don't know if that happened or not. So, how you want to play that?
We can say you have it, that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm sure you'd want to try to go like Mel also doesn't know what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I'm sure, run back, tired, hurt, maybe get a rest, hoping that they show up, and then go back and see if they're there.
I mean, I went through the sequence. She walked in and the ghost scared her. She walked out.
Oh, the sequence wasn't for that. That was for the entrance to the entire tomb. The book
Oh
opening.
yeah, I know. I was just speaking about the sequence of the final
of
battle.
events. I gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She didn't see all that much. She became scared, left, came back in, and there was giant black mass.
With a bear butt.
Left, came back and saw a bear and threw something at it, and the bear growled, almost attacked her, or did attack her,
It did.
and she teleported away. So that's all she really knows.
Yep. Yeah, so we're gonna pick up with Mel running to get Isabel, who's
Yeah, I'm
who's preparing dinner.
Oh my gosh! And can I be cleaning my TMJ mouthguard too?
Absolutely.
I think
You're hacking up the oh man, your light would go out. You'd have to light a torch, because your greatsword light would have gone out when Zad died.
Oh no! And then I'd know something's wrong.
Yep. But you're also very hurt. You're still hurt from last time.
Oh no!
Yep.
Okay, I'm just like brainstorming what we could do. I'm just sitting here. Mel, do you have bless as a spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, she did, and I think she still does.
Yeah, you
but
still will, yeah.
I've got it too.
Okay.
I'm gonna have it too.
So what we're gonna do is essentially we're gonna have to orchestrate that. But tell you what, let's talk about that off the stream. So those of you watching, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. And I hope this was instructive for learning the new Roll20 character sheet. It's not as scary as it was when it first came out. There are still some bugs, but there's always going to be bugs in everything. And that's the way it goes. But thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next week. Good night,
Thanks, everyone.
Internet.